Well, hello everybody. This is our first time buyer, entry level buyer, Southern California housing market update for 2025. And already we've got kind of some interesting results that are coming in. I think they might not be quite as interesting as they look initially. I've got a theory about that we're going to talk about. But the question we're going to ask is this going to be a year that buyers come out as winners? And honestly, we haven't had a year like that really for a long time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into that question. We've got some fresh stats for you. Let's get started. My name is Stephen Meade with Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. Hopefully, that is you this year. If you're a person watching this and you think you'd like to make homeownership happen in 2025, the great news is you have 12 months to make it happen. You've got plenty of time to prepare, to start planning. Definitely reach out to us. But I want to jump right into the stats because, I think a lot of people look at this first week and they say, is this going to set the tone for how the year is going to go? And this year is a bit unique. And the reason why this year is a bit unique is because we had, um, both Christmas and New Year's falling. We've kind of got that part of the year where we have two holidays in our 2 week stats. So we run stats based on looking back 14 days. So what that means is we kind of see there's a real dearth of listings. Nobody puts their home on the market during that period. And then we jump into the first week in January and we see a lot of homes on the market. We've seen a lot come in. So let me show you what I am talking about and walk you through it. So kind of looking back here, if we take a look, let's start off and take a look at our closed prices. Again, this is always taking a look in that rear view mirror, right? Like this is always looking backwards. Pretty much anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, we see some slight softness maybe on that entry level single family home. And then we kind of saw a little bit of an increase in the condo. I think that might be a little bit of an aberration from lower market volumes on closings. People tend to not really want to close the week between Christmas and New Year's. And again, this is our first quartile pricing. So this is saying if the median is midway, what's between the bottom and the median halfway? That's the first quartile. This is for LA and Orange counties. Blue line is our entry level single family home, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and the red line is our entry level condo. So moving on to payments, right? We've kind of got an interesting situation going on with payments. And that's because of interest rates. And really, interest rates are going to be as much as agents and everyone's going to tell you to not think about them, and in a way they're correct. You can't change interest rates. They are definitely a driver of market decisions this year. And we've actually seen interest rates have really taken a jump in the first week in the year. What does that mean? It means that the bond market is very optimistic about the economics for the next 12 months or so. So kind of some interesting news based on some of the unemployment statistics that are coming out. I think we're just going to have to wait and see. I think this is going to be a very volatile year as far as predicting interest rates go. I think almost everybody has eased back their estimates of interest rates dropping by a huge amount. And I'm even hearing some economists talking about they're not going to drop at all from where they are in the next year. So again, you were the person sort of waiting for that magic moments when interest rates have dropped and prices are low. I don't think you're going to see that combination occur in 2025. So as you can see, that payment has been steadily ticking up a little bit at $65.79 or entry single family home. By the way, that is still significantly less than what it has been in many parts of 2024. So you're still better off. We see that condo one, it has shot up with that median home price increase. If we take a look here at our minimum household income, we see we're right around $161,000. Again, that is definitely an increase that we've seen here for that entry-level single-family home, but that is still within the realm of a lot of dual-income households. And just as a reminder, this is based on the minimum income you need, assuming you have no other debts, to buy at a 5% down level. If we look at our absorption rate, this one is pretty interesting because we look on our entry-level single-family home, that has certainly dropped down from that 99% that it was earlier. But but it's still hovering at 84%, which is a bit higher than it was at last year. I think we're still seeing really strong demand for single family homes, especially when they are in a neighborhood people want to be in, well prepared for sale and priced correctly. If we look at that condo market, though, we see that absorption rate go down. And what is that really hinting at? Well, I don't think it's so much a drop in condo buyers. I think it is a number of people have decided to put their condos on the market in the last 2 weeks. And that number, that sort of pent up demand, is really dropping that absorption rate. If we look at our total inventory, this is one I think that gives really some mixed signals and maybe some positive news for buyers. So, you know, we always see that inventory take a dive as it heads towards the end of the year, which it did this year, but it's already starting to level out. And what I'd be curious to see is that this holds in 2 weeks, right? Because we had all this pent up demand of listings. I mean, really, just the last couple of days, just a bunch of new listings have hit the market sort of all at once, but there's also not really a chance for buyers to snap those up. So this may not be really representing an accurate picture of that. But if you look, versus where we were at last year, these inventory levels are still a bit higher. So, on that entry level condo, right, this year we're maybe at 1,400 listings, and last year we were at just under 1,000. So that's over a 40% increase. If we're looking at our entry level single family homes, we're at maybe 1,600 homes versus about 1,250. So not as big of a percentage, but still a decent percentage of inventory up. So we want to watch that, see if that holds out. Obviously, initially, this is a good look. If we take a look at our percent still active after 14 days, again, I think this number is thrown off a little bit by that influx of listings in maybe the last 3 or 4 days. But we're still seeing numbers that are really in line with where we're at last year. I have a feeling these are going to switch around and take another downward bend after 2 weeks. And then finally, if we're taking a look at our week supply of homes, I think these numbers are distorted a little bit by that influx of listings because we really haven't had a chance that week for them on the market to see how many of those are going to get sort of snapped up. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen in 2 weeks. So if we're taking a look at this stuff, right, like what I want to impart to you is I don't think you can get a totally accurate view of how 2025 is going to go from the first week. I think there's kind of too many sort of aberrations in the data, little things that throw the data off quite a bit. I do think overall it is looking a little more positive for buyers on that inventory front. And I will tell buyers this all day long. I would rather have a buyer get an okay deal on a house that they love than a great deal on a house that they don't. And the reason for that is, most people live in their homes, especially now. They're living in these homes 5 to 10 years on average here in Southern California. Living in a place you want to be that makes sense for you matters a lot more than whether you paid $10,000 too much, whether your interest rate was 6.75 instead of 5.75. I think in the long run, these things really don't matter that much. What really matters is, are you making good decisions about what you're buying? Are you buying a home that is going to work for you potentially for the next 5 to 10 years or not? That's really what matters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Questions and comments, we love them. And again, if you or someone you know would like to, should be, or is planning on becoming a homeowner in 2025, we would love to talk to them and lend them our expertise and our knowledge and wisdom. So don't be shy. There's contact information in the description down below. We'll see you again real soon.